Hello and welcome to the Retrobike Computer Channel. Welcome back to part 4. We've been trying to fix these machines. The first 3 parts were basically just going through quickly, although I did manage to repair a few. A few already seem to be working, but I should need to test those further. So now we're getting back to the very first machine that I first looked at in part 1. So for a quick recap on what I've done to that one so far.
It was getting hot, in fact smoking. This resistor down here found that TR4 transistor here, this one was short. So we're back to this one, issue 6A. This was the first one I looked at on part 1 of this series, and I had to replace TR4 because it had gone short. We have a resistor. Let's see if I can get a close up of this one. Resistor here that's black. It's getting very hot and smoking. I did quite a few tests on this. Don't seem to have any unusual shorts to the lower RAM, but that's the first thing I'm going to do, is remove the lower RAM, because I've found that the RAM can be fine until it's initialized and then it can go short. So maybe the problem is here. The only way to find out is to remove it. I could remove it one at a time, then keep testing it, but I think I'm just going to remove it and socket the whole lot anyway. So first of all, I will just power it up. Just make sure the short is still there. Here we go. I have it on 9 volts and I have the amperage set at 0.75 of an amp. So if it goes over that, it'll drop the voltage down. And the voltage is being dropped down to 6 volts. So we've still got a short there. Yeah, that resistor's warm already. So let's remove all the lower RAM. Let's apply some flux. I don't usually apply it with this. I usually got a very thin nozzle on here, but that's blocked up, so I can't use that. So I'm making do. Right, apply some extra heat and hopefully we'll have those out. And hopefully the short will have disappeared. Fingers crossed. Oh, that's hot. Right. Let's let that cool down a little bit. Traces look pretty good, don't see any problems there. Right, let's do this. Here we go. We still have a problem. So it seems to be with the 12 volt and the -5, which I believe is only the lower RAM, and this video chip that uses those voltages. I have tested some of these capacitors, they seem okay. Alright, gonna have to have a rethink. Right, so I haven't given up yet, and I've been watching a very good video on YouTube by Jules Perculum, I believe the name is, probably pronounced that wrong, but I shall put in a link down here to his video. Okay, so here's a circuit diagram of the power circuit, which is an oscillating circuit. Basically what this circuit does is we have 9 to 11 volts coming into the machine. The lower RAM needs 12 volts, so this has to create the 12 volts. Now the way I think this works, but this is just me trying to work it out, we have a flow of current which charges this capacitor here. Now either when this capacitor is full, then the charge will go through this transistor. That goes through a series of resistors through the coil and then to TR4, which switches TR4 on, which brings current through the coil. Then the whole thing switches off and back on. That causes current to keep going through the coil, which eventually gives us a kind of AC 12 volt. That's rectified by some of the circuit to a plus 12 volt. Now, because some components are overheating, I was just looking for a short. Can't find any short, but now doing a bit of research, I think what's happening is this circuit kind of has a little bit of a problem and can self-destruct. If for some reason any of these components fail, got slight problem, and we lose this 12 volt here, the idea is the 12 volt is fed through this resistor here, resistor 59, back into the circuit. So if this is low, if this 12 volts goes low, it's then putting some current back to TR5 to switch it on more, to increase the current to get this back up to 12 volt. But if there's something wrong with this circuit here and we don't get this 12 volt, then it's saying the 12 volt is low. So what it's then doing is permanently switching on TR5, which in turn through these resistors and the coil is feeding the base of transistor 4, which is just leaving transistor 4 switched on, which is almost dead short because we have the 9 to 11 volts coming in from the power supply just through the coil and then straight through transistor 4 to negative ground. Therefore transistor 4 is going to get hot very quickly, and without any limit on the current is just going to burn out. So I think we have a problem here. This is the 12 volt side of the circuit. The 12 volt and the minus 5 volt is virtually the same. It's just basically reversed, so it's minus. And then we've got a Zener diode, 5 volt Zener diode, which reduces the 12 volt to 5 volt. So the circuit says 5 volt here. This is actually, this should be minus 5 volt. So I've tested most of these components and they all seem okay to me, but the current meter I have at the moment, I can't test these two. I can only do really basic tests, which they seem okay. They're 100 microfarad capacitors. They seem okay, but obviously that's not a full test. So I'm going to replace these two. I mean, a lot of people will probably say that I should have replaced all the capacitors in the first place, which with hindsight for this particular job may have been the correct thing to do, but I've watched so many videos where they've replaced all the capacitors and it's made no difference whatsoever. I didn't really want to go to all that trouble and then find it was just something I couldn't repair anyway. So I think to start off with, I'm just going to change these two, and possibly C80, the 22 microfarad one, because that is all in the plus 12 circuit. So let's do that. I am going to order one of these meters. They look brilliant for testing transistors, capacitors. Will handle the 100 microfarads, I believe, no problem. They test all sorts of components. I've already got a tester to test logic chips. Also got 2 meters to test capacitors, but they just don't go up to 100 microfarad. So this is the thing I've ordered. Right then, so I think I'm just going to go straight for these two and this one here. 22 microfarad and 100 microfarad. What's this one here? This is capacitor 74. Now that's the all important one up there. So I think I might, if I've got some 4.7s, which I don't have any 4.7s, so let's just replace those 3, see if it makes any difference. If not, I should be ordering some more capacitors. Okie dokie. Two 100 microfarad capacitors. Now I have checked the marking on the board. You can't always go by the silk screen on the board, but this is correct in this case. So it said the plus side, which is the side that's got the indent, and this has kind of got arrows pointing towards the negative side. So that should pop in there. Now the plus is this side. It's got a small bit of solder over the hole. Get rid of that. Jolly good. Turn that one off, hopefully. Let's do those two. Keep these, they're handy. Wire legs. So check that I haven't shorted that one. No, there's nothing there. Yeah, not going to worry about that. And the other one, 22 microfarad. Again, I have checked the silk screen is correct on this, so it's plus this end. Right. Now I have lifted the Zener diode here off the board just to remove the -5 volt circuit, but that shouldn't affect the 12 volt circuit, I don't think. So just make sure. Did I lift that one as well? Okay, I think I'm going to have to put that one resistor 60. Yeah, resistor 60. I took that one out so I could test the 5 volt circuit without everything getting hot. So I'm going to solder that one back in. I'll turn my soldering iron off. Yeah, I've done it. I snapped the leg on the 7805. I was going to take this off. Let's see if I can dab a bit of solder on it for now. I'll have to replace it later. Or just as well replace it anyway. It's probably been a bit stressed out. And there goes the phone. Talking about things I've ordered, I've also ordered a new microphone because some of the capture, you may have noticed, wasn't very good. Had a lot of echo in some of it, but I think maybe I had more than one device with the microphone turned on. So hopefully this is better, and hopefully it'll get better when I get my new microphone. I've taken the heatsink off. Don't look at this. I think it'll work. It's bridged across. I shall replace this anyway, but I'm not going to replace it for the minute. I think we're ready to plug it in. Now, you can't see my power supply at the moment. There we go. Here goes. Oh, 11 volt. It's not dropped. 0.17 of an amp. We've got loads of chips missing, so I'd expect that to be low. The 5 volt circuit is disconnected. So what should we do? See if we've got 12 volt. Right, where's 12 volt here? 12 volt! There it is! We have 12 volt. Now let's put that Zener diode back in and see if we have the -5. Woohoo! Soldering iron on. So you could say, if you've got a problem, replace the caps, although I don't really like doing that. I prefer to try and diagnose the problem, but trouble is when my equipment won't even test that size capacitors, then you're just left to replacing them. And I expect a lot of people would disagree and just say no, you should replace the caps because you're going to replace them anyway. But personal choice, and in this case I did it the wrong way around. Come on, soldering iron. Right, I've lost it again. Center diode. Here she is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is drop the voltage back down to 9 volts. Did put it up to 11 because I thought well, maybe it just wasn't getting enough voltage, but now we know it's okay. I'll go back down to 9. Here we go. We're looking for a minus. Minus 5 volts. Plus 5. 12. Woohoo! Now, I'm not going to be surprised if all the RAM in this may have been destroyed, with it missing some of the voltages. But we won't know that until we put it all back together. Shall socket that. Right then, sockets for the lower RAM. Alright, one pin's not going through. Right, what I'm going to try doing is putting a dead chip in the socket, just so the pins don't push through the socket. Right, let's try that. Trouble is the legs on these things are never straight. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm going to give the board a clean up on the base some stage, but make sure I can get it working first. Right, now for the exciting bit. I've just done a few things. I've repopulated the lower RAM. I've put all new ones in. I've put 7 new ones in and one of the old ones because I only had 7 new ones in stock. So this one here is one of the old ones. I should test it like this, and if it works I should take the new ones out one at a time and put in the old ones and test them. Also I've put back the upper ram. Those were already socketed, I didn't do those, but so those just back in. ULA back in. The Z80 processor back in. I've replaced the 5-volt regulator. I replaced the burnt resistor. You already know I've done those capacitors. Oh, and also this transistor. I took this one out earlier when I was diagnosing because did see said there's some problems. This controls the speaker. I did see there were some problems with sometimes these going bad and causing the fault, so I've put that one back in. I've put the heatsink back on, and I've got the smart card in, ready to test it. So here we go, guys. Right, I've just given the board a bit of a clean up. I don't know whether that will really show. It was a bit mucky, so I've given it a clean. I've also done the composite mod. Didn't bother doing it on video because there's loads of videos that show you how to do it, and people do it different ways, and don't want to get into any wars of my mod's better than your mod, so I've done that. Is there anything else? Obviously everything's populated in there now. I've connected it to a different TV, and we'll switch it on. I've got the smart card plugged in, which will give it a test. So here we go. Wish me luck. This is looking good. Lower RAM okay. I thought I was taking too long then. Yep, upper RAM okay. So, brilliant. I really wondered whether I'd be able to sort this one out. Got there in the end. So at the moment we're just, these are all, we've got 7 new lower RAM chips in here, the 4116s, and we've got one of the originals. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to replace them one at a time just in case there's any failures, and see what happens. Screwdriver. Right, so I just have to run the test just for the lower RAM. Looks okay. There we go. Next one. I was really expecting, well, possibly that all this RAM was damaged, which apparently is what can happen when you get a problem with the voltages to the RAM. I'm going to push my luck and I'm going to change 2 of them this time. Oh bugger it, let's do the whole lot. What are you thinking then? You thinking all these are okay? Go on, Specky. Looking good. Ah, okay. It's only come up with one. IC11. This one here. Let's just be on the safe side. Let's swap it over. So if it really is a bad one, it should say IC13 now. Just check those pins. Look okay. Could have just been a bad contact. IC13. Okay, so we've got a bad one, but that's okay. Just put one of my new ones in. Keep that to one side. I might just test that RAM chip in another one. There we go. That's got to be worth a thumbs up. Just below this video, click on the thumbs up, or if you're watching on a tablet, just click on the video and then on the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Now, looks wise, I mean, someone had been attempting to repair this before me, and it's probably had other repairs in its life, so it's never going to be the nicest looking one, but I just want to address a few things. This is looking pretty tatty. I did clean this up a bit, but we've still got where the foam was. I think instead of trying to get that off, I think I'll put a new bit of foam on there. And same here, we've got 2 pieces of foam that used to be on there. Let's just put a bit of foam on there. It was there for a reason. I assume to just put a bit of pressure on it, stop things jangling around. So let's do that and just make it look a bit nicer. So we now got New piece of foam on here, just makes it look nicer. I know it's inside the case, but I don't know, I'm fussy like that. And the lid for the RF box. Yep, where are we? I've put a couple of bits of foam on. Okay, it doesn't look brilliant, but it looks better. And I've just put a bit of silver paint around the edge. I don't know what this is coming out, but it looks a lot better than it did. It looks newer. And that's kind of how originally it would have been with the 2 lumps of foam on it. I've got to wait for that paint to dry before I can put it back on. Now I suppose we could address the case and the keyboard. So where is it? So here's the case. I'll just try cleaning the keys to start off with. I'm not sure if they could do with being a bit whiter. I'm not sure how they make these keys. I think they are actually white plastic, and then I don't know, but I'll probably know more when I take it apart. Right, that just needs a clean up. Got a foot missing. I think I've got some spare feet somewhere, so I shall have to look for those. What I want to do is clean it up, make it look as nice as possible, get it back in the case, and then I should test it for games, which is probably a stupid thing to do, because if it doesn't work on games, then I've got to pull the whole lot out. But for games and testing, it's going to need the keyboard attached, so I'm going to do it this way and just keep my fingers crossed that it loads the games okay. I do have plastic springs. I think I took those out when I stripped it down, so yeah, there's a couple in the pot here. Now I think they just go in like that. And then when the things clip together, it keeps the feet in, and you actually have to pull them out. So I think they're okay. So I'm going to take this to the sink. Let's strip this down first. So just undo all those screws. What's the ends of this look like? It's discoloured, but we shall have to test it and see. I have these clamps here. Take those off. Then we can see how Sinclair created this professional keyboard. I'll need a wash. So there's the membrane. Just give that a little bit of a clean up, and we can test it. Chances are it probably won't replace him. So what's the best way of getting these keys off? I did watch someone else's video the other day and they were taking the keys off and they found a nice easy way of doing it. I can't remember what they did. Oh, well, that's one way of doing it. Yeah. Okay. If I hold it this way, I can pull the keys off from underneath. Oh, I can do it this way, it's a bit more interesting for you. Right, now I think I do remember this. Got to pull it this way, that's it. Get that bar out. It's a bit rusty, so I shall clean that up and put something on it to hopefully stop it rusting anymore. So there we go. Bit mucky. To the sink. Right, let's get in there with a paintbrush. Put a green mark on there. Cream cleaner, see if I get it off. Give it a good clean around the logo and any of these lines on the plastic. That's where the muck can gather. Also where the keys go. Trouble is, when it's all wet it can look very nice, and then when it dries out you see all the muck again. So you've got to do it thoroughly. As I'm doing this, some of the soap is starting to look a bit dirtier, so obviously still a bit of muck in there. Let that dry off a little bit. Just give the rubber a quick clean. Yeah, that looks quite a bit better actually. So this is quite mucky. Looks like it's had something sticky on the bottom there. Might need an extra scrub, or I might have to put something else on there to get rid of that. Right, I don't think I'll put these in the sink, I just think I'll leave them in here, put a bit of hot soapy water in here. Right, I'll leave the case to dry. I'll leave the keys to soak a while. I keep seeing bits on the case. Got a little mark here. Possibly a little bit there. Tiny little mark there, maybe a scratch. Yeah, it's still there. Well, it's going to be better than it was.
Okay, hands up. I've done it again. I've underestimated the time it takes to do these videos. This one's gone on for over an hour now, and I think I'll cut it here and then do the rest in part 5. Part 5 we're up to? I'm not too sure. But anyway, subscribe and you'll get a notification for that. Also, if you can give me a thumbs up, that also helps with YouTube showing my videos to more people, which might help me so I can make more of these videos. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that one. I thought it was quite an interesting repair. Hopefully you did. Okay, see you in the next one.